Dudes, yo dudes, It's Uncle Larry checking in on him. I'll have to consult the calendar. What day of the week is this? Calendar says it's a Wednesday. Yeah, just checking in. Hope all's well. I got some VCB. First of all, I want to say thank you for the sweet, kind, generous donations and the sweet words about the Joe Glazer video. I've had a lot of people text me privately about that and say things like, that was a lovely video. We love Joe Glazer. Everybody loves Joe Glazer. Classic overachiever, that boy. Brilliant mind. Sharp cat. Everybody knows he's a great repairman. Great conversationalist. But, you know, he's a world-class machinist. There's nothing that boy can't make. He can make this cup, if he wanted to, out of a block of aluminum. I sure love hanging out with Joe. I always enjoy stopping by there and chatting it up with him. He likes to talk more than he likes to work, and I appreciate that. But yeah, I love Joe, and thanks for all the words about that. You guys, I think you guys could pick up on what a special cat he is. You know, there's nobody like him. And he was the original guy, man. I mean, his name is synonymous with Nashville guitar repair. He was the guy. He is the guy. He you know, everybody that plays guitar in this town knows Joe Glazer. And beyond this town, because he's done a lot of great things in the guitar community. And now enough of that. What's up, Joe? Is that Strat done yet? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. I got some hot shit in the VCB today. Let's see. Hey Tom, do you drink milk? You know, I like milk. My one weakness when it comes to I'm not a big sweets guy. I don't drink soda, which is probably the only reason I don't weigh 5,000 pounds, because I certainly don't exercise. There's this stuff in the grocery store right over there by the butter section called Toll House edible chocolate chip cookie dough. I don't buy that. I've seen it. No, I'm just kidding. That's a bit of a weakness for old Uncle Larry. He likes that with a little glass of milk. That's a nice thing. You ever tried that stuff? Not that, you know, regular chocolate chip cookie dough is not edible. Of course it's edible. But the big selling point is that it won't get you sick. That's their hot selling point. Hey Tom, what's your biggest fear? Oh, probably going into a shopping mall. I avoid a shopping mall at all costs. As a matter of fact, if I went to hell for being a bad person, my version of hell would be trapped in a shopping mall eternally. So that's a big one. Something happened to one of my kids, of course. Every parent fears that, you know, dying alone. That's all the stuff you always hear a grown man say. But mine more than anything is shopping malls. You know, I was going to talk about, this isn't a question, but just a thought that I was going to expound upon. I've always said that certain guitars have sex appeal, right? Very much like a woman, right? You know, I've had so many guitars in my life. I've been through so many instruments. I've learned a lot about what the emotional draw of an instrument can be, right? Like, for example, if a dude I know brought some guitars over here the other night, and he just wanted me to check them out, right? So he brought over an instrument, and he goes, "What do you think of this, man?" And he pulled out a 1960 Les Paul Special TV double cut, 2 P90s, right? Typically a guitar that I always thought looked cool, but never, all the ones I've ever played really weren't that great. They always have like pencil necks, and they have issues, construction issues. But this particular guitar he handed me, man, I just started playing it, and man, it just took me on a journey, you know. And I thought, man, this guitar is hard to put down. It's, it had some problems and things like that, but overall the vibe of it was just like, play me. I want to party. I want to hang out all night, get a 6-pack, and watch a cool movie or something, And man, I've noticed with old guitars and any guitars in general, like, they have different levels of sex appeal. And what I mean by that is, like, how much draw they have on you. Like, I've got some guitars that if I just leaned it up against the wall in the corner, you just couldn't walk by it without playing it. They just called to you, like, come over here, play me. And some guitars, conversely, are just cold bitches. Like, they could be on paper fine instruments, right? Like, I've had plenty of dead original, really cool old guitars, right, that just have zero sex appeal. Like, they don't want to be played. You could set them up. You could do everything you would normally do to make a guitar amazing, and then you get done with it, it's just ice cold. I never could understand what it is about a guitar that just draws you in, or it just pushes you away. And I call it the inspiration factor, right? We all want guitars that just make us want to play them, And I think if you find a guitar, I don't care what it is, an electric, an acoustic, bass, whatever, that just makes you want to play it, and draws more out of you than a regular guitar, that's the one you keep, right? And this doesn't have to be expensive, and it could be anything. But any guitar that just has that pull over you emotionally, I think is very important. Very few guitars out there have this, especially for me, man, because you guys know how picky I am, man. It takes a lot for me to be blown away by a guitar. And but man, I said to the dude, I said, man, I'll buy this guitar if you ever want to sell it. He probably won't ever sell it, but that's fine. He shouldn't sell it. It's a good guitar. I look around sometimes at my stash of guitars and I think, which one of you guys have I been really playing a lot, And then the ones that are ice cold that I haven't been touching, usually are the first ones on the chopping block. And that doesn't mean that these guitars wouldn't be an absolute favorite for somebody else, right? But they just don't draw me in the way that certain ones do. Like, for example, like this 62 Strat. I mean, this guitar, most people would pick this up and go, oh, Larry, this is pretty heavy. This neck's a little too big. But this guitar right here it just makes you want to play it. I mean, I've kept this one all these years because this thing is just full of inspiration. Something about these pickups, man. This guitar just kills. And, I could not play it for a month, and then I pick it up and immediately it's just like saying hello to an old friend. This thing is amazing. Got a bunch of guitars like that. I'm lucky, right? And then the ones that don't do that, I launch. And that, that's it. And you guys will probably feel the same way. Here's another one. Hey, Tom, this is interesting. I've noticed that the guys that really know how to play guitar have way less subscribers than all the guitar channels where some guy that can barely play tries to show you how to play Sweet Child of Mine. Why is this? And I can tell you this. I can tell you this right now. I can tell you why. Okay, yes, there are millions of people that call themselves guitar players. Yes, that's a fact. But there's only a very, very small percentage of those people that really want to learn how to play the instrument. Okay? 98% of the people that call themselves guitar players are perfectly happy to be the best bar band guitar player in Nowheresville, America, or wherever it is. They would, and I get this feeling. I'm not criticizing. Here's why I know it's real, because I do that in other areas. Like, for example, I'm a chess player, right? But I'm a terrible chess player. But I love to play the game. I would rather duke it out on chess.com with a bunch of other terrible guitar players or terrible chess players like myself and occasionally win a game to make myself feel better than to just get mauled by somebody who's way better than me every game, right? Because that just is debilitating. You know, nobody wants that feeling of like just getting completely blasted by somebody every game. There's no chance of winning because they're so much better than you. I would rather goof around with the other 1,100 rated guys that are all terrible chess players. None of us are any good. And because that makes me feel a little better about my pitiful life, right? Same thing with guitar players. They're more comfortable watching some guy try to show you how to play Highway to Hell and say, oh, he's playing that chord wrong, than to watch an amazing guitar player doing shit that's so far beyond anything they would ever imagine, right? So those channels, there's plenty of them, and they're not going to get the same kind of pool that a guy who's just basically showing you, really simple stuff is gonna have, and that's understandable. There's a lot of guitar players, very few that really want to get to the top of the mountain. Okay, and I really believe that. There's no way a really heavy-duty guitar player could ever have that same kind of subscribers. There's just no way. There's not enough people interested in that. They don't want to go there. Dude, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I get that. I mean, I would rather watch, some hack chess player make the same mistakes I make than to watch a master, because I don't even understand what he's talking about. I'm like, this is so far beyond anything I could ever comprehend that there's no point in me even looking at this, So there you go. That's the explanation of that. Let's see. Where do you fall in that category, right? Think about it. I always say the most important thing for guitar players is determining where they want to go, what they want to do with the instrument. There is nothing wrong with any of the choices. If you want to be the best guitar player in Sheboygan, that's great. It probably wouldn't be that hard, to be the guy that walks into Sheboygan music, if that's such a thing, and everyone goes, hey, he's the best player around here. You could do that, right? But if you want to play with the big fish, that's a whole different world, right? And that goes for anything in life. That goes for sports, that goes for business, that goes for, not many people want to take any occupation that far, right? I really believe that this is the truth here, friends. Tell me if I'm wrong, okay? What else do we got in the VCB? Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, I can show you a couple licks. I'll show you a couple licks. I've been talking too much lately and not showing you enough licks. I'm sorry. Special thanks to a guy named Mark McNamara who's sent a beautiful donation. Thank you, Mark. Very cool of you to do that. Hopefully you're getting a lot out of these lessons. Maybe I'll shut the hell up and show you a couple licks now. How about that? All right, here's the thing that nobody ever thinks about, okay? Let's just say we're gonna play a D minor chord, okay? Everyone knows this one, right? That's the one you learn first. You might learn this one. You might learn this one. You might learn, just the short version. This is the one I'm interested in. Like, I like these low voicings. Like, Brian Sutton and I always talk about this. Like, A, D, and F. You got the fifth on the bottom, minor third on the top, and the root in the middle. Go down to a C major. You got G, C, E. B flat. That's the stuff you do, and everyone goes, "Hey, Larry, what tuning are you in?" Because they don't not used to hearing those sounds on a guitar, right? You can create open tuning sounds by getting a little naughty like that, right? B minor. Broke a string. Wow. That's the first time homeschooling. Broke a string. J.D. Simon was over here the other day, and he goes, "I never break strings." And sure enough, 2 seconds later, he broke a string. It happens, you know. Oh, Lord. You know, I used to break a lot of strings back when I used to play eights when I was a kid. Now I play tens. People still ask me what gauge strings I've said it a million times. Medium picks, tens, rolling rock picks. Okay. Taking you back to 1964 here with a Y.A. Tittle card. This is a Philadelphia football set. Anybody know what Y.A. stood for? He was a great quarterback, Hall of Famer, of course. One of the most famous, iconic football photos of all the great old NFL films is him on his knees on the sideline, just covered in blood in black and white after taking a beating. You should look that up. Really cool. Yelberton Abraham Tittle. What a name. I'll bet the kids at school made fun of him with that name, but it probably made him tough as nails. All right, friends. Peace out. Have a great day. Oh, hey to Cliff from LA Vintage. I just bought a guitar from him. It hadn't showed up yet, but I bought a 61 SG Special. Should be here any day. Hope it's cool, and we'll see if it has any sex appeal. All right, friends. See you later. Bye.